Last night was incredible. Love it when you're rough like that. This is the moment I decided to destroy them both.
I discovered my husband and sister were having an affair. Here's how I got my revenge. I've been sitting here for hours, staring at my screen, trying to figure out how to start this. My hands are still shaking, but I need to get this out. Maybe typing it all down will help me process the nuclear bomb that's gone off in my life. Or maybe I just need to tell someone, anyone, who might understand what it feels like when the two people you trusted most in the world betray you in the cruelest way possible. 5 weeks ago, I was happily married to David. 12 years together, 8 years married. We met in college. He was the charming TA in my economics class, and I was the eager student who stayed after class with just one more question. When we started dating after the semester ended, it felt like the beginning of everything I'd ever wanted. My sister Emma was my best friend growing up. She was the wild one, I was the responsible one. But we were inseparable despite our differences. When our parents divorced bitterly when I was 16 and she was 12, we clung to each other like life rafts. Sisters before misters, we used to say. A pact I thought would last forever. David and Emma always got along well, too well, as it turns out. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First suspicions. Looking back now, I can see the signs were there for months. David working late more often. The way he'd guard his phone, turning it face down whenever I entered the room. The mysterious weekend work trips that left him exhausted but somehow energized. But when you love someone, you create excuses. You fill in gaps with trust instead of suspicion. Emma had also been acting strange. She'd always drop by our house unannounced, but lately she'd been asking specifically when David would be home. She'd cancel our sister lunch dates more frequently, always with vague excuses. Once, I caught her putting on lipstick in our bathroom, something she rarely wore, but I thought nothing of it. The first real crack appeared 3 months ago. I was using David's laptop to print some documents for work when a text notification popped up in the corner of the screen. From E, with a heart emoji, last night was amazing. Can't wait to see you again. Delete this. My stomach lurched, but I decided to keep this discovery to myself. Something inside me broke, but simultaneously, a plan was born. I took a screenshot of the message and saved it in a hidden folder on my phone. Gathering evidence. For the next few weeks, I lived a double life. On the surface, a loving wife, suspecting nothing. Inside, a cold, calculating detective gathering evidence. I installed an app that recovered deleted messages on his phone while he slept. I copied his conversations with Emma, hundreds of messages full of passion and betrayal. I saved photos they sent each other. I recorded phone calls when I was supposedly visiting a friend but was actually sitting in my car outside our house. I found receipts from restaurants, hotels, a jewelry store, a small diamond necklace he'd given her for her birthday with a note, to Emma, the real love of my life. Each time I found new evidence, I felt my heart break a little more. But I never showed it. I smiled, cooked dinners, listened to his lies about working late. I hugged my sister when we met, pretending everything was normal. The hardest part was controlling my rage when I saw them together in our bed. I came home early from work and heard sounds upstairs. Silently climbing the stairs, I photographed them through the partially open bedroom door. I wanted to scream, to burst in, but instead, I quietly left, adding the photos to my growing collection of evidence. Planning my revenge. My parents' wedding anniversary was approaching, 50 years of marriage. David and I were hosting a big family celebration at a restaurant. Everyone would be there, our parents, relatives, close family friends. About 50 people. I personally handled all the arrangements, insisting that I wanted to make it special. David gladly gave me carte blanche. Emma even offered to help, but I politely declined, saying I wanted to do it myself. No one knew that I had ordered a special projector and large screen. No one suspected that I had prepared a presentation, not just about my parents' happy marriage, but about something else too. During the week before the celebration, I was the perfect wife. I arranged a special dinner for David, bought new sexy lingerie, was tender and loving. He melted, completely letting his guard down. Emma relaxed too, seeing how well things were between us. The day of reckoning. The anniversary evening arrived. The restaurant was decorated with flowers and photos of my parents. Everyone was dressed up, the mood was festive. David sat next to me, his hand on my shoulder. Emma was sitting 3 seats away from us, occasionally throwing quick glances his way. After the main course, I stood up and raised my glass. Today we're celebrating 50 years of love, faithfulness, and dedication, I began, looking at my parents. Mom, Dad, you've shown us what real love and real trust mean. I paused, smiling. In honor of this, I've prepared a small presentation. The lights dimmed, and the screen lit up. First, photos of my parents appeared, their wedding, the birth of their children, family holidays. Everyone was touched, Mom was wiping away tears. Then the image changed. And now I want to show you what's been happening in my marriage, I said in the same calm voice. The first screenshot appeared on the screen, I want you so bad. Can't wait until she leaves. It was followed by another, last night was incredible. Love it when you're rough like that. And another, she doesn't suspect a thing, relax. Deathly silence filled the room. I continued methodically displaying the messages, showing the photos they had sent each other, hotel bills. And finally, the photo of them lying in my bed. With each new slide, David's face grew paler. Emma covered her face with her hands. Someone gasped, someone else started crying. These 2 people, I pointed at them, my husband and my sister, have been sleeping together behind my back for over 6 months. In my house. In my bed. My mother jumped to her feet, her face distorted with anger. My father put his hand on her shoulder, but his gaze, directed at Emma, was full of disappointment. I've known the whole time, I continued in a firm voice. I collected evidence. I waited for the right moment to show everyone who you really are. David tried to say something, but I raised my hand, stopping him. Don't waste your words. The divorce papers are already with my lawyer. I've packed your things, they're waiting by the front door of our house. You can keep the keys, I've already changed the locks. The aftermath. What happened next was chaos. David tried to deny everything, then begged for forgiveness. Emma sobbed, screaming that it was a mistake and that she didn't want to hurt me. But it was too late. My parents stood by my side. Dad told Emma directly that he was ashamed to call her his daughter. David's mother, sitting next to us, turned away from her son, tears streaming down her face. Aunt Martha, always known for her sharp tongue, loudly announced, I always knew there was something wrong with that guy. His eyes are too close together. I watched all this calmly, as if from a distance. Inside me, a strange feeling was spreading, not happiness, no. Rather, liberation. The truth, as painful as it was, had finally come out. Emma tried to approach me, but my cousin Alex, who had always protected me since childhood, stood between us. Don't even think about it. David, having lost hope for forgiveness, stormed out of the restaurant in fury. Emma followed him, but at the door she turned back, her eyes pleading for something. I looked away. New life. It's been 3 months since that evening. The divorce was finalized faster than I expected, the evidence of infidelity was more than sufficient. I got the house, half of all assets, and compensation for emotional distress. Emma moved to another city, our parents refused to speak to her. David lost his job, it turned out he was having an affair not only with my sister but also with his boss's wife. Karma, as they say. And me. I started over. I bought a ticket to Italy, a place I'd always dreamed of visiting, but David always found reasons to postpone the trip. I signed up for photography classes, a hobby he considered a waste of time. Yesterday, I met an old friend for coffee. "How are you?" she asked carefully. I thought for a moment. Did it hurt? Yes. Was I broken? Not anymore. I'm healing, I answered honestly. Each day a little better than the last. This morning, I looked in the mirror and saw something new in my eyes. Strength I hadn't noticed before. Confidence that comes when you've survived the worst and realized you can endure. My heart is still healing, but now I know, sometimes you need to lose people who didn't value you to find yourself. And that discovery is worth all the pain endured. If you're going through something similar, know this: you're stronger than you think. And one day, you too will be able to say, "It hurt, but I survived. And I'm better for it."
So, that's my story. Do I regret anything? No. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious what you would have done in my shoes.